In the grand, often bewildering theatre of global finance, there are names that flash across headlines like ephemeral fireflies. The titans of industry, the brash traders, the so-called masters of the universe. Yet, behind the curtain, in the quiet hum of university halls and the glowing screens of research departments, reside the true architects. These are the individuals whose mathematical ingenuity builds the very scaffolding upon which modern markets are constructed. One of the most brilliant, yet for many one of the most unsung of these architects, was a remarkable man named Peter Carr. He was, to put it simply, a titan of the intellectual kind, a quiet revolutionary whose equations and models are as fundamental to finance as steel girders to a skyscraper. To speak of Peter Carr is to speak of a mind that saw finance not as a chaotic casino, but as a complex, fascinating puzzle waiting to be solved. He had a rare gift for translating the messy, unpredictable dance of market prices into the elegant language of mathematics. While many of us see a confusing squiggle on a stock chart, Peter saw patterns, probabilities, and possibilities. His work wasn't merely theoretical doodling. It was intensely practical, providing tools for traders, risk managers, and financial engineers to navigate the treacherous waters of global markets. He was, in essence, the Q to Wall Street's James Bond, crafting indispensable gadgets that made the impossible possible. His story is not one of inherited wealth or cutthroat ladder climbing. It is instead a profoundly inspiring tale of intellectual curiosity, relentless perseverance, and a deep-seated humility that belied his towering intellect. He could hold a conversation with Nobel laureates about esoteric stochastic calculus one moment and patiently explain a complex concept to a first-year student the next. His influence wasn't just in the papers he published or the models he created, but in the countless minds he ignited with his passion for discovery. To understand his impact is to appreciate the quiet power of a brilliant idea and the generous spirit of the person who shares it. So let us embark on a journey to uncover this extraordinary man. It is the story of how one man's beautiful mind helped write the rules of the modern financial game. We will explore his humble beginnings, trace his path through academia and the heights of Wall Street, and demystify the groundbreaking ideas that earned him the moniker "the last great quant." Every great journey has a beginning. Peter Carr's began not in a financial hub like New York or London, but in Canada with roots in Malta. Born to parents of Maltese heritage who had immigrated to build a new life, he grew up valuing hard work, family, and a solid education. From a young age, he was not an ordinary child. With a Mediterranean ancestry providing warmth and resilience, and a Canadian upbringing offering pragmatism and opportunity, he gained an insatiable curiosity combined with a mind always worrying, questioning, and seeking the how and the why. While others played sports and read comics, he found a playground of numbers and logic. His fascination with finance did not blossom for riches, but instead for intellectual obstacle. He began reading business newspapers not for the tips, but to better spot and visualize patterns. The market was the world's largest puzzle, and he was captivated by its complexity. A simple childhood ritual nurtured this interest. He tracked stock prices and recorded movements in a notebook. It wasn't about playing the market, it was data collection and pattern recognition. He was fascinated by randomness, the sudden jumps, and the seemingly unpredictable nature of it all. Peter Carr's formal journey into the world of higher mathematics and finance was a testament to his formidable intellect and unwavering perseverance. His academic path began at the University of Toronto. He immersed himself in his studies, quickly distinguishing himself. He wasn't just learning the material, he was mastering it, leaving professors astounded. He earned a master's degree from the University of Waterloo. He continued his education, pursuing his PhD at UCLA, a pivotal career moment. The move to California was not just a change of scenery. It was a leap into one of the world's most vibrant intellectual ecosystems. At UCLA, he found himself surrounded by leading thinkers and a culture of ambitious, boundary-pushing research. His time at UCLA was not without its challenges. The rigors of a top-tier PhD program are immense, demanding not just intelligence but also incredible resilience, struggling with long hours of study, the pressure to produce original research, and the consistent moments of self-doubt. Yet, his perseverance never wavered. He was known for his tireless work ethic, often spending countless hours in the library or his office, wrestling with complex problems until he found a solution. It was this tenacity, this refusal to be defeated by a difficult problem, that became one of his defining characteristics. His family, not from finance or academia, provided stability and support. They encouraged him, even if they didn't fully understand. In 1989, he successfully defended his doctoral thesis, The Valuation of Sequential Exchange Opportunities. His PhD was more than just a credential. It was the culmination of years of dedicated effort and the launching pad for his professional life. From his academic journey from Toronto to Waterloo, then Waterloo to Los Angeles, he consistently sought out environments that would challenge him and push him to grow, a pattern that would continue throughout his illustrious career in both academia and the high-stakes world of finance. Upon completing his PhD, Peter Carr embarked on a career that was remarkable for its dual nature. He did not choose one path over the other, academia or industry, but he masterfully walked in both worlds, becoming a vital bridge between the theoretical and the practical. His first major academic appointment was at Cornell University. He quickly established himself as a brilliant researcher and a gifted teacher. At Cornell's School of Operations, Research and Industrial Engineering, he was in his element, surrounded by sharp minds and free to explore the mathematical frontiers of finance. His early papers began to attract attention for their originality and rigor. However, he was not content to remain in the ivory tower. He knew the true test wasn't mathematical elegance alone, but practical utility in the real world. A pivotal move. He joined NYU's Richard Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences. Being in New York put him at the heart of global finance. At NYU, he was a mentor to a new generation of quant, students who went on to populate trading floors and research departments. His NYU role let him cultivate deep industry connections. He consulted for major banks and hedge funds. They sought his help on their toughest quantitative problems, but his influence really reached a new zenith when he took on a senior role at Morgan Stanley. Late 1990s, early 2000s, he served as head of the firm's equity derivatives research group. This wasn't merely a consulting gig. He was in the trenches, leading a team of elite quants, developing models and strategies to give the bank a competitive edge. His theoretical brilliance was put to the ultimate test. Mathematical elegance had to translate into market performance and into robust risk management. At Morgan Stanley, Peter was not just a manager, he was a hands-on intellectual leader. He fostered an environment that felt like a university research lab. He encouraged his team to think creatively, asked them to challenge existing assumptions. He pushed them to pursue novel approaches to complex problems. His office became a hub of intellectual ferment, whiteboards filled with labyrinthine equations, spirited debates about volatility smiles. For decades, the standard Black-Scholes model was king for option arbitrage. It assumed stock price movements were smooth and continuous, following a neat bell-shaped curve. But markets are far messier. Markets can jump suddenly, exhibiting fat tails with extreme returns. Unplanned spikes and scary falls happen far more often than Black-Scholes can possibly predict, ruining its consistency. Peter sought a better way. The Variance Gamma model was his elegant solution. Instead of time moving at a constant pace, the VG model introduces a clever twist. Business time runs at variable speed. During high activity and volatility, the clock speeds up. More price movements, bigger jumps. During quiet periods, the clock slows down. Subordinating the market clock to activity allowed the model to generate sudden movements, skewed distributions, commonly observed in real data. It was far more realistic. Yet it stayed practical with analytical tractability, meaning you could still derive clean, usable formulas for pricing options. If the Variance Gamma model was a brilliant leap forward, Peter Carr's subsequent work took things to an even higher plane of sophistication, along with his co-authors, Madan, Jaman, and Yor. He developed an even more flexible and powerful framework known as the CGMY model. The name itself is an acronym of its creators. This model can be seen as a grand, unifying theory for a certain class of financial processes. It took the core ideas of the Variance Gamma model and generalized them, creating a tool of extraordinary versatility for modeling asset prices. It was like going from a high-quality adjustable wrench to a full professional-grade socket set. The key innovation of the CGMY model was its ability to control not just the general level of market activity, but also the frequency and size of jumps. Think of it this way. Financial markets can experience all sorts of movements, small frequent jitters, medium-sized shocks, and massive system-shaking crashes. The CGMY model provided quants with 4 distinct knobs they could turn. These parameters, CGMY, allowed for incredibly fine-grained control over the statistical properties of the price process, including its tendency for large jumps and its overall activity level. This flexibility was a game-changer, the holy grail for quants, realistic and practical. Traders could price options in real time. Risk managers could better estimate downside during shocks. It helped explain the volatility smile, where different strike prices show different implied volatilities. The VG process was a major step forward in financial engineering. It gave the industry a crucial tool beyond older restrictive assumptions. It showed Peter's ability to see problems fresh and apply sophisticated math to produce useful results. Not a minor tweak, but a fundamental rethinking of time in finance, opening the door to a family of more realistic, powerful models. In 2003, he was named Risk Magazine's Quant of the Year, a highly prestigious award, akin to an Oscar in financial engineering. This honor acknowledged the practical impact of his research, particularly models like CGMY. Risk Magazine is the trade bible for derivatives professionals and risk managers. Being singled out by them signaled his work had made the leap from the ivory tower to Wall Street. In 2010, the International Association for Quantitative Finance named him Financial Engineer of the Year. This is the pinnacle of recognition in the field. Previous recipients include Robert C. Merton and Myron Scholes. Receiving this award placed Peter in the pantheon of the greatest financial mathematicians. It recognized his entire body of work. Contributions to derivatives pricing, pioneering research into volatility, leadership in academic and industry settings. Beyond the complex equations and the prestigious awards, there was simply Peter Carr and his glowing spirit. To know him, even briefly, was to be struck by his extraordinary character. He was utterly devoid of the arrogance that can sometimes accompany genius. Humility, generosity, a wonderfully dry sense of humor. He wore his immense intellect lightly, more interested in hearing others than broadcasting his own brilliance. A respected colleague, a beloved mentor and friend to countless individuals. He never took himself too seriously, focusing his intellectual significance solely on work. Intellectual firepower combined with profound humanity. His generosity as a mentor was absolutely legendary. Professor at Cornell, professor at NYU, leader at Morgan Stanley, and leader at Bloomberg. He dedicated enormous time to mentoring the next generation. He saw potential in students, he saw potential in young quants, and he went out of his way to support them. His office door was always open. He would patiently sit for hours, whiteboarding complex ideas, offering career advice, or simply listening. He wasn't just teaching formulas. He was teaching a way of thinking, helping guide individuals rigorously, instilling a sense of methodical thinking, creativity, and intellectual honesty. He celebrated his students' successes as if they were his own. His mentorship reached far beyond direct reports or students. A central figure in global quantitative finance, he used his position to lift others up. Generous with his time and generous with his ideas, Carr was often sharing unpublished research, collaborating with academics and practitioners worldwide. Making connections was his passion, introducing promising young researchers to senior industry figures, constantly building far more than financial pricing models, but also building a community, weaving a network of knowledge and support for our future financial leaders. He had a quiet warmth, with an ever-present twinkle in his eye. He could dissect the most abstruse proof and then make a witty, self-deprecating joke. He never took himself too seriously, even as he took his work overtly serious. His legacy is etched in financial models used around the world and carries on in the hearts and minds of the thousands he mentored, supported, or inspired. He showed that it is possible to be both a titan of industry and a humble scholar, a brilliant innovator and a dedicated mentor. His life was a beautifully balanced equation of intelligence and humanity. When we look back at the landscape of 21st century finance, the fingerprints of Peter Carr are everywhere. His legacy is not a single monolithic statue, but a living, breathing ecosystem of ideas and people. On one hand, there is the concrete, technical legacy of his models. Variance Gamma, CGMY processes, countless other contributions to derivatives pricing and volatility modeling. They are embedded in the software that runs on trading desks, in the risk engines that protect banks from collapse, and in the textbooks that train the next generation of quants. He fundamentally changed how the industry thinks about and models market risk. His work provided a crucial bridge from the idealized world of older models to the messy, jump-filled reality of actual markets. By giving practitioners the tools to better understand and quantify phenomena like volatility smiles, market crashes, he made the financial system more robust and sophisticated. This intellectual inheritance is a testament to his practical genius. His ability to forge powerful, usable tools from the raw material of abstract mathematics. The equations he developed will continue to be used, studied, and built upon for decades to come, forming an everlasting part of the financial mathematics canon. But to focus only on his mathematical excellence is to miss half the story. Peter Carr's other equally powerful legacy lies in the people he helped. Through his decades of teaching and mentorship, he shaped an entire generation of financial mathematicians. His students and protégés can be found in senior positions across Wall Street, in top universities around the globe. He didn't just give them answers. He taught them how to ask the right questions. He instilled in them his own values of intellectual rigor, creativity, and collaboration. This human legacy, propagated through the work of those he inspired, may be his most profound and lasting contribution. Ultimately, Peter Carr's story is an uplifting reminder that the greatest impact often comes not from the loudest voice, but from the clearest mind and the most generous spirit. He was a quiet revolutionary who, through the sheer force of his intellect and the warmth of his character, transformed his field from the inside out. He showed that it is possible to be both a titan of industry and a humble scholar, a brilliant innovator and a dedicated mentor. His life was a beautifully balanced equation of intelligence and humanity, and its solution is an enduring legacy that continues to enrich and stabilize the complex world of finance. Peter Carr, the man whose beautiful mind helped rewrite the rules of the modern financial game. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things numerical and mathematical. Thanks again, and until next time, stay calculating, my friends.